Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim, he's KJ. This is The Real Sports Talk. You can like us on Facebook, The Real Sports Talk. You can find our show at youtube.com/Mr. Kelstar, and you can follow me on Twitter at CashKelly_TRST. We will continue to give you the best overall NBA coverage throughout this entire playoffs. We are previewing now our first Eastern Conference matchup, which features the number 3 seed Indiana Pacers versus the number 6 seed Orlando Magic. And if you look at these two teams, they had polar opposite seasons. The Magic have kind of been one of those teams throughout the past 4 or 5 years that have been one of the more prominent teams in the East. They've been in the top 5 pretty much every single season. And then you look over to the Pacers, they're a team that had some struggles in between the Jermaine O'Neal era and now, but they finally appear to have things figured out. The Magic had a rough season though, dealing with the Dwight Howard drama, dealing with the Stan Van Gundy drama, which was pretty much the Dwight Howard drama. And if you add that all in, that's going to be tough. And the fact that they had now lost Dwight Howard for this playoff series is going to be tough. If you look at the Pacers side, the Pacers have a very young, underrated team. Guys like Danny Granger, Roy Hibbert, Tyler Hansbrough. This is a team that gave the Bulls a very good first-round series last season, and it is not by mistake that this is a number 3 seed team. I don't think that people are giving this team nearly enough credit coming into the playoffs, and that is a dangerous thing because the Bulls, you don't know what health you're getting out of D Rose. Last year in the playoffs, we saw Dwayne Wade go down for the Miami Heat, and if that happens this year and LeBron doesn't have the type of series that he was able to have when Dwayne Wade went down, then who knows, the Pacers could certainly be that surprise team that ends up coming out of the East. And KJ, overall, give me your thoughts on this series.
I like this series. I think this is going to be a good series, but I feel like the Pacers are just going to take it strong. And your best player, your number 1 guy, your go-to guy, your best rebounder, and your highest scorer all out for this, and things usually aren't going to go. That's like Kobe sitting out for the Lakers series. It's just not going to work out. You're not going to win the series. I have the Pacers in 5 in this series. The Pacers are a team on the rise. They're an energetic young team. Like you said, there's Hansbrough, and we have Paul George, Roy Hibbert, Danny Granger. All these guys have been on. Granger's been on there for years, and these guys are young and they're good. And Roy Hibbert, people, just like we just talked about, Marcus Gasol being an underrated center. So is Roy Hibbert. Roy Hibbert is a monster. I saw him live. I know it was only against the Nets, but he is a monster. I've never seen such a big guy in my life. But I have them winning in 5. There's just no way Orlando's going to be able to make a run like this without their best player. Like you said, it's all drama in that city right now. That team has their heads up their butts, and that's basically it. There's no way around it. Like you said, Stan Van Gundy, Dwight Howard, that whole thing. I mean, there's no, like, who's going to carry this team? JJ Redick? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
there's not much to say because I just feel like Danny Granger and Roy Hibbert and those guys are just going to take control. They're young, energetic. They want to win. They're on the rise. That's basically it. They're basically actually going to take the role of the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference and be that other top team to make runs and playoffs and stuff. And I think they're going to be a team that's going to be up there for years to come.
Yeah, we've seen other NBA legends like Michael Jordan build completely awful teams, but Larry Bird has done a tremendous job at building that Pacers team. And the one guy that everyone is forgetting that is on that roster has looked very good down the stretch is David West. David West is a tremendous overall player. He was a sidekick to Chris Paul when things were really going well in New Orleans, and that looked like a team that was going to be good for years to come. Ultimately, that did not happen because of financial reasons and numerous other things. But if you add that into the mix with all the things that we've talked about, I think that this is a Pacers in 4 series. Dwight Howard, I don't have any problem with him wanting out because if you look at the overall depth that he has, Jameer Nelson, I think you can make a case as a top 15 point guard. And Ryan Anderson had a nice breakout season. But other than that, I mean, you can make a case in my mind that this supporting cast for Dwight Howard is worse than a lot of the supporting cast that LeBron James had in Cleveland. It's just overall, and I think that you can make a case that this is, or I think it's a lock that supporting cast is worse than the one Kobe has in LA right now, because there's no guys that have really been there in that big moment before. Hedo Turkoglu is probably the only one, and I think that everyone knows once Hedo Turkoglu got paid, he packed it in, and his career has been done for the last 2 or 3 seasons since then. I'm taking the Pacers in 4, and while they're not going to have a ton of pressure on them coming out of this series, when they go against either the Bulls or the Heat in the second round, they will have a ton of pressure on them, but I am not sleeping on the fact that they could certainly beat one of those teams and make a run in this Eastern Conference. People are sleeping mightily on the Indiana Pacers, and I think that it's going to come back and bite a lot of people. The Orlando Magic, I think even if Dwight Howard was in this series, probably did not have a ton of a chance, because I think that everyone knows at the end of the season, Stan Van Gundy's for sure gone. Dwight Howard's possibly gone. We're hearing rumors that he wants out again, and a team that in Orlando, they have a new arena, they have new everything. It's a nice city. I mean, I've never been there, but it seems like a nice city. Your team might not be too hot in about a year. So, unfortunately, that's kind of how things go. But I think that everyone's been in that situation with their team before. Like the Real Sports Dog on Facebook. Hit us up on Twitter at CashKelly_TRST. And we will catch you guys later.